That same week, a friend spotted Mary Jane at the grocery store, wearing a long-sleeved shirt in 90-degree Texas heat. Text messages to friends began showing a pattern. Mary Jane would share photos of bruises or marks, followed quickly by messages asking them not to worry or tell anyone.
What's going on, you guys? AJ Tucker here with AJ Self-Defense, and today I want to talk about the story of Mary Jane Collins. This is a very tragic story. It went down in Texas, and you saw the intro. If you want to watch the entire episode, just check out the intro. It has the title. Go to YouTube, check it out. It's probably about 25-30 minutes, okay? So to start this thing off, let's talk about the father of one of her children. His name is Michael King, and he ended up killing somebody. And the half-brother, DeWaylon Hurst, ended up getting revenge on her 4 years later. So her baby daddy, Michael King, killed somebody in 2020. He goes to jail. 4 years later, the half-brother of that person that was killed gets revenge on him by killing her 4 years later. She had no way of knowing, okay? No way of knowing. But the signs and symptoms started to show a little bit. And I do want to talk about that. And I want to talk about the topic of domestic violence. So DeWaylon Hurst is the half-brother, the man who got killed by her baby daddy. And he sought out revenge and got it 4 years later. So let me tell y'all how that happened. So this guy, DeWaylon Hurst, he scouted her out for 4 months. He basically stalked and researched her for 4 months, learned her patterns, learned her struggles as a single mom, and he basically used that against her, okay? So after weeks of just watching her routine, he purposely ran into her and said something to kind of build a rapport with her, something that he already knew about her. And he kept doing that. He kept bumping into her in different places, and she started to look forward to these like little run-ins. And when they finally got to talking, he already like knew her struggles, already knew her inside and out because he had been stalking her. They started a relationship. He would give the kids a ride to school. He would help the kids with their homework. So some guys, they target single moms and they know their struggles, and they just seem like this Superman because they help them with this, help them with that. And the thing is, sometimes the help is real, but sometimes the help is just like it's a facade, okay? It's like, it's fake, and they just do it because they know it's the quickest way to the woman's heart through their kids and their expert, but they can't keep this act up long. The act does not stay up long. So in this relationship, he seemed like Mr. Perfect, but then he started to abuse her. She started to have marks on her. Her grandmother noticed a bite mark on her face, and she kind of played it off. Her friends started to know all these bruises, and she got to the point to where she would send texts to her friends of the different bruises and scratches and marks on her. But she told her friends not to worry about it. She told her friends not to call the police. This guy was basically threatening her and said, hey, if you tell the police, I'm going to harm your children. I'm going to do this and that. Here's the thing, man. People that are abusive, they can't keep the act up for long. They can keep the act up in front of other people, but he would hover her, watch her phone, watch who she was talking to, and things of that nature. So if you find yourself in this situation, you know, I know it's like easier said than done to just get out, because most of the time, like financially or what have you, is hard to get out. But if you're in an abusive relationship and somebody's putting their hands on you, somebody's marking you up, they're hitting you, they're biting you, just know it only increases. It does not go away. So if somebody is controlling or they say something and you're like, what? It only increases. It only escalates. It only gets worse. And then if somebody puts their hands on you, like they grab your arm, it only gets worse. And I know me saying that doesn't necessarily make you automatically leave a relationship. And even if you're getting hit, you're getting beaten, you're protecting the person, that doesn't automatically make you leave the relationship. Me personally, I have no other way. I have no other way to put the information out. But I share this with you guys, but I also want people to share this stuff and just look for the signs of abuse, because the way to get somebody out of that, it takes an entire team. It takes an entire community. So fast forward, man, he would encourage her to watch, to do the video calls because she was a mom. She was a single mom, 2 different fathers, and she worked really hard to try to keep that relationship. She never badmouthed the fathers in front of the kids, and she did video calls with with Michael King, with the baby daddy in prison. I'm not sure about the other one. I'm only talking about this one, but it sounded like she was really working hard as a single mom, trying to give her kids a good life, trying to keep the father in a good life, video conference visits, doing whatever she could. And this guy came along and he basically killed her to get revenge on him, to let him know what that loss felt like. That is crazy. Now, there was just a small little window of when she was getting, like, her and the family was getting a warning that abuse, her not going to work, her calling in sick to work for the first time, her changing, her changing, like, her kind of changing her personality. Her friends know she was getting abused, but she was kind of like trying to guard her kids and stuff like that. But just know, if you're in an abusive relationship, it only escalates and only gets worse. Definitely a topic, one of the motivators of why I do self-defense is that topic right there, domestic abuse. Now, I will say this, there is no self-defense against domestic abuse. Somebody can teach you how to fight. They can teach you how to fight somebody off. But if you do that and you're still in there with that person, it's still going to continue. There is no self-defense for that kind of abuse. You don't fight somebody off and then they stop messing with you. If somebody's abusive, they're going to abuse you. Okay? And eventually it's going to escalate and they might take your life. They might wipe you out. So for the women who's been in a domestic abuse situation, I know guys are abused as well. I do talk about that, but right now I'm just basically talking about the women because it's just different. The abuse is different. You could literally lose your life and leave your kids. And she did tell her grandma, she was like, hey, if something happens to me, it's this person right here. When somebody says that to you, you write that information down and you be ready. And just think about this scenario. He did this. This man carried this out 4 years later. 4 years later. But that small window of abuse, I don't know if it went on for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but that small window of abuse was the indicator. No matter if he was planning this for 4 years or if he was planning this for 2 weeks, that abuse, if it starts small, it only escalates. It does not go away. An abuser does not stop abusing. Anyway, that's all I got for this one, man. I'll see you on the next one.